Hi, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today is gonna be another review and reaction for, you've probably guessed it from the title, Normandie, and this is the Jericho, Holy Water, Atmosphere. It's already the 5th installment in my little Normandie series, and we are fast approaching the release of their 3rd album, Dark and Beautiful Secrets. And I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am for this album. It's going to be absolutely incredible. It's going to be amazing. I mean, the singles we've gotten so far are just mind-blowing. We've even gotten like a music video with every single one, which is absolutely crazy and super cool. And they're always so much to unpack, and oh, love it. I just really, really love it. And yes. Today I'm going to be covering Hostage, which actually came out yesterday. It's Saturday today, so I've waited an entire day to listen to the song because I want to capture my initial reaction and everything on here. But I do have to admit, I did on the lyrics, and I hope that this doesn't like mega reflect. If it does, ooh, it probably has my light in it. I hope this is fine. I've had this live on my wall for a couple weeks now, so the lyrics have been around me. I've not really heard the song yet though. I've avoided teasers and everything. And that's it. So with the rest of it, we're gonna dive in fresh and just see what happens. Here we go. The intro is cool. Oh, wait. Wow, that effect is super sweet. That effect is so sweet. Ghost effect. Love it. Oh, God. Oh. Once again, just inviting you to sing along because it's super catchy, and the emotion in the Hostage. Oh my God, I'm just imagining this song live. This is gonna be an emotional roller coaster. Holy hell. Wow, wow, Normandie, another. Excuse me, but how did they do that? Like every single time they just freaking. Why the fuck do I have tears in my eyes? Can someone please explain that to me? Okay, wow. I mean, I do have like I had like a rough idea of the lyrics already because they were, like I said, living on my wall for a couple weeks, but like kind of hearing the song with it, the melody, wow, okay. Let's take a breather and then dive into the lyrics first. I'm going to do this one a little different than I did the other one, so I'm going to go over the lyrics separately first and then touch on some of the visual elements because I did see like some parallels, but I don't want to mix it in too much this time, so let's just see how we go. So basically in the first frame already we see the snake. Usually snakes are considered like the dual expression of good and evil, which I feel like in the context of this whole video and song shows this tug of war between light and dark here and there very well. And what I also think is interesting that the snakes are both a symbol of like evil power and chaos from the underworld, but at the same time they are a symbolism of healing and rebirth. So once again, this like light and dark, but it's this dark turmoil with the prospect of light rebirth. And then of course there's the whole idea of the snake in Garden Eden kind of being the downfall and damnation of mankind. maybe in this context being a little bit like a symbol of the personal downfall, like of becoming a broken soul. So basically starting a song off with the chorus, just with a little bit of a calmer version of the chorus. And like right the first line has the city sleeps and I'm awake. So basically it's saying that the world out there is calm, it's asleep, but you are restless. The stuck in conversation with your thoughts and troubling mind, that's basically why you are awake, because all these things are going on in your head. And I think in the music video that's very, very well visualized, with Philip actually being there 4 times having a conversation with himself basically. There's all these different parts of your brain that are almost in conflict, that are in constant exchange with each other. And with this, I feel like these outfits, the one on the very right, I don't know what my voice is doing today. The one on the very right, I think, is the outfit from Jericho. Then Holy Water, I think the one with the hat is from I think it's from the live sessions, but it might also just be from the regular White Flag. Then we have the mind is running red lights, escape the situation, I hold my breath and bite my tongue. This is this whole situation of you being stuck in a fucking frenzy, but you're trying to calm yourself down, like holding your breath, biting your tongue, trying to keep it all in, stop yourself from crying out in this absolute manic moment. You're holding back the feeling, you're pretending you play along, you don't want to show what is going on with you in that very moment. Maybe there's an element of not wanting to be judged for what's happening right now, because for a lot of like mental health problems, or for a lot of mental states, there's not much of an understanding actually. Like people are like, yeah, we realize that this is an issue and this is something you need to talk about, but a lot of times when people do deal with these kind of issues, there's just such a judgment towards them. It's like, oh my god, what the hell? It's always that side eye, and as if you're saying like, sort your shit out, like, but it's not that easy. And the last 2 lines in the first verse kind of have the sense of you're trying to regain control, like every day over and over again, and with the morning coming, you're hoping this new day will give you a new chance not to end up in this panic kind of zone. It's the rewind, reset, restart, repeat. And it's the same thing over and over. You're stuck in this loop. And this is kind of representative of this dreamlike state. Once again, we have like the ghost effect, then we have a little bit of a different lighting, almost this being the dark side of things. He's playing with the snake, kind of playing with the darkness in a sense, with the chaos, temptation. What I think is really interesting about the first verse is it kind of goes into a bit of a trying to make yourself present again, which is a way you can get out of a panic attack by counting down to 10, or trying to make yourself aware of something specific in the surroundings, because a lot of times these panic attacks can like bring you to a completely different moment. You lose touch with what is actually happening right now, which drives you into even more of a frenzy basically. So it's like this moment of trying to calm yourself down, get yourself out of this moment. So you shut your eyes, you shut your mind, and hope that it passes you by, that you hope that you make it out through the end. The hope here is kind of implying that there is a failure of you to break out of that. Over and over again, you try, you hope that this time it'll pass you by, you'll be fine, but it just gets you again every single time. And the whole shut my eyes, shut my mind, that parallel kind of shows that you want to regain control. You try to shut it out that moment to just find calmness, find safety in the moment. And here it's almost this feeling of being torn apart with like the blurred out effect. It's visually these things that just, oh my god, yes. And this broken soul, maybe in this context, might have a connection to the dissociative personality disorder that like Philip was describing in that little teaser trailer. Not feeling at home with yourself, that moment of looking into the mirror and not recognizing yourself. That means you don't feel as a whole, and maybe that's why you are a broken soul. And then that goes in with the you've lost control of your being, of your mind, everything. just goes out due to that panic is almost a sense of resignation. Like, I think I've lost control, there is no way you can get a hold of yourself. And then it goes into, because you're making me your hostage. And the hostage is really like dragged out, and it almost feels like a carousel just spinning you round. You're spinning round within that panic. And it's this, what I think is like really hard hitting about this whole part of the song is that whole idea of, truth be told, I'm afraid of getting old, because you're making me your hostage. It's kind of this fear of living in like captivity. You don't want to get old because you don't want to be a slave to this fear, or like a hostage to this fear and to the state of panic over and over again for the rest of your life. Never really being free of it, because you always slip into that captivity. It doesn't happen once, it just happens over and over again, which relates back to the like restart, rewind, repeat. Like, it's the same thing over and over. You try to push it away, but yet you're caught by it again every single time. And this is kind of, I feel like, tied again to the dissociative personality, because it's like the same person. It's almost like looking back as like these mirror effects, you know, like if you look into the mirror and there's another mirror, it's like mirror, 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 mirror. And there's like this infinite amount of faces, and they're all like a little delayed. So it's like all parts of you and it's all you, but then it's not again. You're like, oh, what? And then we roll into like the next part of the song, which just has a lot of repetition, which for me, this repetition in this song just is an expression of this growing panic, of this moment where you're just like spinning around in the same headspace. And it's like always this twisting and turning of thoughts, twisting and turning in that moment, visualized by them and their instruments spinning around. And it's almost a sense of like growing desperation, and the lyrics, especially in the second chorus, turn into like a mantra-like state where it's like counting down from 10, like going through the methods of trying to regain control of yourself, but then ending it on the hostage, as in you are caught within it. And it almost feels like there's someone just like rocking themselves back and forth, you know, counting down, shutting down your eyes, shutting out your mind, trying to regain control of yourself in that moment of craziness, of panic, of the storm, just trying to center yourself. But that is so hard to do, and everybody that has ever had a panic attack in whatever way, shape, or form will know how fucking scary that is. The moment where you really realize what's happening, and especially if you've experienced it for the first time, when everything suddenly, like, the world around you fades away in a very weird way, and you can just like feel your heart racing, and you don't even know what's happening. You're like, I need to figure this out. But breaking that cycle is just really hard. I did not plan on getting emotional with this, but I mean, there's a few videos on my channel where I've spoken about a lot of personal things, so might as well just put it out there. So I'm lucky enough that in the past years I've never suffered from a panic attack. But back in 2016, after I finished school and I went to the States, I lived in New York for 3 months. Suddenly I was confronted with this whole world of emotion. I was away from home, away from friends. I didn't know what was going to happen because I just graduated from school, and I didn't even know if I'm going to go to uni or where or what. There was just a lot going on in my life, and then being confronted with all of this inner life on a daily basis, I was just very overwhelmed. And I remember I was at a friend's flat near Madison Square Garden, and I walked out the flat. It was a really hot day, and I felt a little lightheaded. I was like, oh, this is strange. And then suddenly I could feel my heart race, and the next thing I know is I was walking, and then suddenly like everything started to blur out a little bit. I was like, oh my god, what's happening? I thought I was gonna pass out. But then I was like, okay, I need to sit down. So I sat down next to a trash can on some street in New York, and I never felt my heart race that much in that moment, and And I did just that. I tried to count down. I was like, I tried counting. That didn't help. I shut my eyes and I reopened them, and the world was still the same, and everything, I never experienced something like that. It was just, everything was really very blurry. It was almost like the effects I saw in the video were like this ghost-like effect. People had this ghost-like effect walking by, and there was like a really dull noise, and everything was dulled out, and I had no fucking idea what was going on, and I panicked because I was like, what the hell is going on? And I only snapped, I don't know how long I was in that state, to be honest. I only snapped out of it when this random guy from Ireland, I don't even remember his name, like bless him, he came up to me and he sat down on the floor with me and he grabbed my hand. He was like, hold my hand, look at me, and he started talking to me. And only the focus on my hand eventually helped me snap back out of that situation. And I actually ended up, they called an ambulance, I actually ended up in the hospital, and I have a fucking $600 bill from that, so can't recommend going to the hospital in the States. But they had to give me something to like calm my nerves and stuff, and I didn't know what was happening, and I asked in the hospital, I was like, what the fuck was going on? They also did a bunch of tests, and they were like, yeah, no, you were fine, maybe like a little bit dehydrated, but nothing bad. They were like, you had a panic attack. And I was like, I had a what? Excuse me, like a panic attack? Like, yep, you have a panic attack. And for a time after that, probably half, 3/4 of a year, I had panic attacks come back, like proper states of anxiety that I'd never experienced. Luckily, they were never that bad as in that moment. Also helped that I was like back in my normal environment and everything. But yeah, I struggled with that for a while, and not many people know that about me. So now the world knows, the internet knows. Great. I rambled. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna keep in the video, but yep, that was that. So I know that feeling of being a hostage in that kind of situation. So yeah, like I said, ending this second chorus on hostage is just this moment of juxtaposing. You're trying everything to regain control, but you realize there is no escape because you're a hostage within this state. And here I feel like it's really like growing desperation. Also visualized by the amount of like cuts, like the cut frequency here really, oh, that's so cool. It also moves in the rhythm of the song. Oh my god, yes. Switches between scenes a lot quicker here. Beautiful. This is visually pretty stunning. Pretty stunning. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you made it to the end of the video, once again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And check out Normandie if you haven't. Show them some love because they really, really deserve it. And I just want to take the opportunity, because this is the last single they released before the album dropped, to just thank Normandie for their support for like me and this channel as well. It's been absolutely unreal, and I really, really appreciate it. It means the world. So yeah, I'll see you in another video. Bye.